Hey guys, it's Sevi and we're back with another Kazuha video because he's finally here! We got him within the hour of his release and now we are so excited to show off what he can actually do. We have spent so many videos exploring his kit and his potential and the potential of his Swirl and EM that it's so exciting that we can finally test him out. So this video is not going to be a guide at all, okay? This is going to be a showcase of what he can do as an EM support, as a sub-DPS, and as a DPS. We do have some surprising results, however, and we can clarify some things about his kit now, but again, this is definitely not our comprehensive build guide on Kazuha. We'll have a better video of that in the future. So let's head straight in. Now this Kazuha is level 80 out of 90. Okay, he's carrying a level 80 out of 90 Iron Sting, which is, you know, the free-to-play option here. He's using a 4-piece Viridescent Venerer set, and we're starting off with a full EM build, so that's EM Sand, Circlet, and Goblet. This Kazuha is Constellation 0, his talents are 787, and let's see what Kazuha can do. We're going to be showing how Kazuha performs using the Spiral Abyss. We're going to show you how fast he can do it without Kazuha, okay? So that we can kind of see how big a difference Kazuha makes in a team comp. So this team comp uses Child as a DPS, Fischl as an elemental support for an electro charge team, and then Zhongli is here as a shield and tank. Now if you notice, we didn't choose any damage cards here, and by itself, Child, Fischl, and Zhongli are a solid team comp and can finish the first half of floor 12-1 in just over a minute. Now let's see what it's like if we add Kazuha to that team comp. So after opening with Zhongli in this round, we drop out Oz and then swirl that around with Kazuha's E and then use his burst to spread that around, and the Electro is what gets absorbed by his elemental burst. After that, Child pops out, starts doing his attacks, starts doing his Hydro Electro Charge attacks, and his Hydro also gets swirled by Kazuha's burst as his burst does damage over time. And with another Meteor and another switch out to Kazuha, this half is over in under 40 seconds. Now, Kazuha isn't just there to deal swirl damage and anemo damage. Thanks to his third passive, which we'll talk about later by the way, there are a lot of increases in the damage dealt by his other teammates. Here's a side-by-side comparison. On the left is Child dealing damage without Kazuha, and on the right is with Kazuha in effect. There is a significant increase in the team that uses Kazuha. Now, whether this is an effect of the 4-piece Viridescent Venerer set or purely because of his third passive talent Poetics of Fuubutsu is up for discussion, but again we'll return to that later. So that's Kazuha as an EM support. As you can see, he did his job. He magnified that elemental damage and he also provided lots of swirl and elemental reactions to the field. Now I want to test him as a DPS. Now I know that in past videos I've said that his DPS potential only really comes out at C6, but it doesn't hurt to try it on C0. First, let's look at his stats on the Black Sword. Here are his stats. His crit stats are pretty nice. He is using a 2-piece Gladiator and 2-piece Viridescent Venerer in this build. And he's using an Attack Sands, an Anemo Damage Goblet, and a Crit Damage Circlet. Now let's go back into Spiral Abyss accompanied by Xingqiu, Beidou, and Zhongli. Notice again that we're not choosing any damage cards here. Now this is floor 12, so the leyline flow is normal, this where the swirl bonus damage is. Now Xingqiu and Beidou are relatively F2P friendly, and this comp is great even on C0 on either of them. What you're after is the off-the-field elemental application by Xingqiu and Beidou respectively. And then Zhongli is there of course for some good protection. So again, after opening with Zhongli's shield, we pop out Beidou's burst, we pop out Xingqiu's burst, And then we have Kazuha use his skill and then his ult together, and after that it's just him on the field with his normal attacks and his ult doing all that damage over time. And then, because his cooldown isn't that bad, you get to rotate his skill from time to time too. Now you do have to do some work to get Beidou's and Xingqiu's ults up again, but surprisingly, Kazuha doesn't need that much work getting his ult up, especially with him on the field. So exploiting his skill is really great once you've applied at least one element, because his swirl potential is still good without his full EM build. And he finishes it in around 45 seconds. Now we're going to try him with the Primordial Jade Cutter. Keep in mind that this is R2, so it might set expectations a bit high. And we also shuffled around the artifacts a bit just so that his crit ratio is more balanced.
Time to go.
Now again, diving in without a damage card, let's see how he does.
This is order.
To ashes! Witness the power!
The winds reject. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
Using the same rotation that you already saw with Beidou's ult, Xingqiu's ult, and Zhongli as a tank and shield, and we have Kazuha's skill and burst and DPSing on the field, he finishes this in 33 seconds. So there are some pretty significant differences in the damage he's dealing, but what surprised me is that even on C0 with a good DPS build, Kazuha still makes a decent DPS as long as he has some great elemental off the field sub-DPSs to go with him. So you know, that opens up a lot of possibilities with how you can build him even on a budget. And I guess we'll be exploring that more in the future. I'm just glad we could show you now how flexible of a character he is. Now then, let's clarify something about Kazuha's third passive talent, Poetics of Fuubutsu, because I've actually gotten a bunch of comments on this, and there is actually a need to clarify it because the wording, I must say, is off. The way that Poetics of Fuubutsu is described in his talent page, it says that when Kazuha triggers Swirl, the party mates gain an elemental damage bonus respective of their element. This makes it sound like, regardless of what element gets swirled, all his teammates get an elemental damage bonus. Now we put this to the test, and that is not how it works. To test this out, we brought Beidou and Child and Kazuha into a domain. These are Child's and Beidou's elemental damage bonuses before Kazuha's buff. First, we tried applying Hydro and Electro to enemies and then swirling them using Kazuha. After this, Child did get an extra Hydro damage bonus, and Beidou did get an extra Electro damage bonus because both Hydro and Electro were swirled. So Kazuha's third passive talent applied to both of them. Now in the second test, Beidou is still on the team, but Kazuha only swirls Child's Hydro attack. Child gets a Hydro damage bonus, and Beidou does not get an Electro damage bonus. In fact, she gets a Hydro damage bonus. This means that Kazuha only applies an elemental damage bonus on the element that he swirled. So he can only apply a bonus for Hydro, Pyro, Electro, and Cryo, and not Anemo or Geo. So if you really want to maximize that third passive talent, Poetics of Fuubutsu, the best thing you can do is lay down all the elements that are present in your party and have Kazuha swirl all of them together. But I hope that clarified things about that Poetics of Fuubutsu talent, and that's pretty much it. So overall guys, Kazuha is an amazingly solid character. I didn't expect him to perform so well as a DPS, and it just makes it so much more exciting to be able to showcase and build him in the future and explore all those possibilities. Please let me know in the comments how your Kazuha is doing if you pulled him, and how this video made you feel about Kazuha overall. I can't wait to see more of this new animal character, and you'll definitely see more of him soon on our channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Please consider subscribing, drop a like on this video, and I'll see you soon. Take care!